afternoon once again, my dear children, my dear parents. Once again, my name is Teacher Doreen, as usual. We are going to have a lesson in Primary 1 Literacy B still. Primary 1 Literacy B, or you can call it the Literacy 2, or you can call it the SST part. So, I remember previously we looked at a house, and I said a house is a building where people live. We looked at the two types of houses. You know, it is always better to begin with the previous lesson. We said the two types of houses, we have a temporary house and a permanent house. We say the temporary house is a house which is built with weak building materials. For them, they are weak. Even if you blow it, it may be blown away by the wind. Even if you kick it, it can fall off. Why? Because it is built with weak building materials. Then we looked at the second type of house and we said it is a permanent house. We said this is a house that is built with strong building materials. The materials that build it are very, very strong. Even if you kick it, even if you box it, even if strong wind comes, this house will not be shaken. This house will not be blown off. Why? Because it is built with strong building materials. Now today I want us to look at these materials that we use to build houses. So we are looking at the building materials. When you look at this word here, building materials, and I ask you a question, what are building materials? These are the things we use to build houses. Even if it is a temporary house, even if it is a permanent house, it depends on your cash. It depends on your wish, what you want to build. But how I wish, what I know, everyone would wish to build a permanent house. So these are the materials that we use to build a house. So these building materials are also categorized, are also divided into two types. We also have the strong building materials and the weak building materials. These are the two types of materials that we have. So it's up to you to choose which material to use to build your house. If you want a permanent house, of course you will choose the strong building materials. And if you want a weak house, you will have to choose the weak building materials. So we are going to see the strong building materials. These are the materials used to build a strong house. Let's look at examples of these strong building materials. Examples of strong building materials. When I talk of the strong building materials, I mean real strong building materials. Those ones that can build a house and it lasts for a very long period of time. So when I talk of the strong building materials, number one, I have cement. By the way, cement is a strong building material. When you mix it with sand and water and you put it on your house, let me tell you, a cement will do it for you. It will make your house stronger. Even if strong wind comes, your house will remain in the position. Why? Because it is built with that strong building material. Number two, I have sand. Sand. It is used to build a strong house. We have iron bars. Or you may call it metal bars. These metals, even if you break it, it cannot break. Even if you turn it, it cannot. Why? Because it is a strong building material. We have stones. stones, these ones are also used to build a strong house. We have bricks. Bricks. In vernacular, we call them amatofali. So when you use these bricks to build your house, let me tell you the truth, your house will be strong. It will be a permanent house. We have nails. Nails, emisumari. We have wires. They are those strong wires that they use especially to build the foundation of the house. So if you want a strong foundation, automatically you have to use those strong building building materials. We have tiles. When your house is built with tiles, when your house is floored down, you put tiles in your house, it will be a permanent house. Even if strong wind comes, that house will stay in position. Why? Because it is built with strong building materials. We have blocks. Those are big. I remember one of the children in primary one time told me, "Teacher, blocks are big bricks." Yes, those blocks are those big bricks. Of course, they don't have the same color as bricks, but for them they are much stronger than the bricks. Even if you hit it down, it is so hard for a block to break. So it is used for building permanent houses. And very many examples. So these are some few examples we have that can build a strong building material house. So if you have your cash, if you have your money, and you opt to build a house, I would advise that you build a strong house. Why? Because it will last for a very long time. And these are what you have to buy in order to build your house. Of course, I have not put water as a building material because this one is used in both building the strong house and even the weak house as well. So these are some of the essentials, the main things you have to buy when you're building a permanent house. These are cement, sand, iron bars, stones, bricks, nails, wires, tiles, and blocks, and very many others. Let's look at examples of the weak building materials. These ones are really too weak. We mentioned an example of a weak house as a hut. I want you to look at your hut, maybe in the village or at home. A hut. What are the things that are used to build a hut? Number one, we have the reeds. These ones are not strong at all. They are very weak. We have sticks. Even a young child can get a stick and break it. So what of strong wind? So sticks are weak building materials. We have mud. A child told me that it is called a soto. I don't know, but I have mud as a weak building material. We have cow dung. We all know cow dung, the wastes of animals, the cows. That one is also a building material. People use them to build their houses. Instead of sand, someone can use cow dung. But of course, the cow dung is not a strong building material. We have banana fibers. Banana fibers. People use them to build those weak houses. We have poles. These are also examples of the weak building materials. And very many others. So these are some of the weak building materials. They are used for building a weak house. Let's read them again. Reeds, we have sticks, we have mud, we have cow dung, we have banana fibers, we have poles. So when we look at these materials, of course you see these ones are much stronger than these ones here. So we are going to see, when we look at all these building materials, where do we get them from? Where do we get these building materials? Those are what we call the sources of building materials. Where do we get these materials from? When I talk of the word sources means the places where we can find these materials. Now we are going to go slowly by slowly. We are going to start with cement. When you want cement, where do you go to? That is my question. Of course, when you want cement, we get it from a factory. So a factory is one of the sources where we can get the building materials. We have sand. When you want sand, where do you get it from? Sand. We can say maybe sand, we get it from the lakes and rivers. We have always seen lakes, for example, we have Lake Victoria here. At the bank of the lake, we have sand. So that sand is used for building houses. Others can say beach, that we get sand from the beach. Well, they are correct, but that is also a lake. It is not a beach. So we get building materials from lakes. Let's look at the iron bars. If you want iron bars, where do you get them from? From a factory. So stones. We get stones from a place called a quarry. Let's all repeat, quarry. 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 A quarry is a place where we get stones. This is where you find very many people gathered. They are getting, they have hammers, and they are hitting very big rocks. And they get small stones from those big rocks. So those places are called quarries. They are called quarries. So when you want stones, don't go anywhere else, go to a quarry. That's where you will get stones from. We have bricks. When you want bricks, where do you go? You go to a swamp. You go to a swamp, you find people getting that sand, the soil, the soil, and they're mixing it with the water, and they're getting bricks out of it. So, if you want bricks, that's where you go. When you want nails, you go to the factory. The wires, you go to the factory. The tiles, you go to the factory. You find that very many, most of the building materials, when you want them, you go to a factory, a place where they are made, a place where they are manufactured, a place where they are simplified. That is the what? The factory. Let's look at the weak building materials. Where do we get the reeds, the sticks, the mud, the cow dung, the banana fibers, the poles? Still, we are still looking at the sources of the building materials. When we look at the reeds, where do you get the reeds from? We get the reeds from swamps as well. We get sticks, maybe from the bush or forest. Mud. Where do you get mud? From the swamp. Cow dung. Where do you get cow dung from? From the animals. Banana fibers from the banana plantation. Poles, we get them from the bush or from the forest. So you find that most of these sources of building materials are factory, the lakes, the quarry, the swamp, the bush, the animals, and banana plantations, and very many others. So these ones here are so important that we get our building materials. Thank you very much for being part of this lesson. Thank you for learning. Thank you. Thank you for focusing on what we are teaching. May the Lord bless you, but put it in mind that you can still research more about these lessons. Thank you very much.